Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glen Vo, and I am super excited. I mean, you guys have probably seen her in the group. She's been a valuable member in Nifty Dentist, but it's Brenda with Support DDS. Brenda, what's up?
Hi, I'm really excited. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, happy Friday indeed. And you know what, guys? If you're off like me, and if you're not, if you're just watching during lunch, this is super exciting news here to bring her on because, okay, Brenda is not only part of the Support DDS team, she was for a long time a client. So she knows and she was also in the dental consulting industry. So she knows what we face in dentistry. She knows all the problems, all the issues we face. And Brenda, let's start with this. You were in consulting for many years. You love working with dental practices. Let's start off with, how did you get introduced to Support DDS? And then what motivated you to join their team? Let's start with that first.
Well, I appreciate that question because a lot of people are like, why did you leave consulting? You know, you're a good consultant. Why would you do that? And really what it came down to is the fact that so many of my clients were complaining over their outsourcing or insourcing bills that they were getting every month. It seemed like they never added up and they were always different. And I voiced that frustration and was introduced to Support DDS because it's a flat monthly fee and it doesn't change. So I referred my first client to them and they were so happy that I kept referring clients to them. And soon, many of my clients were on Support DDS and had a remote team member. In fact, some of them have added 2 and 3 team members.
Wow.
So they reached out to me and said, you're already selling. You're already talking about us all the time. Would you like to come work for us? And it was a hard decision because I love consulting, but boy, I sure do love my job.
Well, you know, and I think that it was just so smart on their part because you understand, I mean, in the consulting world, you understand what we face in dentistry. You understand as far as staffing goes, as far as, look, there's not enough time in the day to get things done. That's what my team tells me all the time, right? And I tell my wife that too. We've worked with each other. I say, I don't have enough time in the day. And it's so great to have virtual assistants. Guys, I'll let you know this. People always ask me, like, how do you get things done in Nifty Thrifty Dentist? Virtual assistants, okay, all these assistants, it's totally worth it to get your time back. Now, for those who are watching, I see a bunch of people are on right now. If you want a Nifty Deal, or if you like what you're hearing, do me a favor. Type in the comments section, Support DDS. Type in the comments, show us some love.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brenda, I want to go into this because everyone always asks me, they're like, okay, well, yes, I do need a virtual assistant to help out, right? But what can they do? What can I get them to do? I mean, it's like, how can a virtual assistant help my practice out? So Brenda, let's talk about the most common tasks that dental practices need to outsource.
Well, that's a great question because it could be different for any office. What I do is I talk to the team and say, what do you not like doing? Because if they don't like it, they're probably not doing it well, or maybe not even doing it at all. So we say, what do you not like doing? Great. How would it feel to you to have somebody else take care of that task for you? And everybody loves it. So the most common requested is insurance verification, of course. Whatever form they want, however they want it, we can do it. The other is reactivation. Right now, doctor, you're not going to believe it. We have about a 500% return on investment for recare calls and reactivation. Because if you think about it, this Nifty Thrifty deal is such an awesome deal that even if they get 8 patients reactivated or 8 patients to fill your schedule, then they start seeing a return on investment. And most of our team members are doing that in one day. So all the other days is gravy. So those are the big ones: reactivation, insurance verification, use it or lose it campaigns, checking claim status. But we even have some remote team members acting as personal assistants to the dentist, balancing their own credit card statements and scheduling their haircuts.
I mean, it's just a big game changer because I always talk about this. Like, you know, when you know, nowadays I don't even do my own landscaping anymore, right? Could I do it? Yeah, I could, right? Could I also clean my own house too? Yeah, I could. But you know what? My time's valuable, and so I outsource it, right? And so I tell people, look, your team is super valuable in your practice. They're also really valuable to talking to the patients, to actually addressing them and answering the phone, right? So if we can put them in a position where they can do that and not something else, why not? And I'll tell you what, let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, the practices that you work with, the doctors are super happy. But Brenda, let's talk about there's a lot of team members that are in this group. They're probably watching this right now. Talk about the team members. How has it impacted their lives?
Well, you know what? People are worried sometimes that we're trying to replace a team member. And we don't want to do that. All we want to do is supplement the team members so they can do exactly what you said, have more patient care time. And there's a lot of things like, you know, doctor, you know, I've been in the dental field for 27 years. I can confirm an appointment just as good as the next guy. But why would I do that when I can have a virtual assistant do it and I can focus on selling a $20,000 treatment plan? So what we want to do is be able to maximize the skills of the team members that you have and be able to have that support system in place for the things you don't have time to do. I mean, all doctors want their claims paid right away. They want to be able to have a good estimate. And do you know how many times I've heard, we have a system, but it's not being implemented? This person can help you get your coverage books, your payment tables, all set up the way that they should be through the software. And might I add, with absolutely no bad habits. You're not going to hear out of their mouth, in my last office, we.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so Brenda, are you ready for some questions? I have a whole bunch of people messaging me right now. And guys, if you have any questions, let me go ahead and put the crawler back up here. Guys, if you have any questions, type in the comments section your question, or if you want to be anonymous, go ahead and message it to me and I'll read it to Brenda. And guys, if you like what you're hearing, if you want a nifty deal, type in the comments section, support DDS. Type in the comments, show us some love there. Okay, so first question is this. Okay, I have heard, let me read what this doctor says. I have heard that when you outsource, that there's always issues with security as far as internet security, and you know, with the assistants getting into our network to look at our schedule. So Brenda, let's just go ahead and address that right now. People are worried, okay, well, if I'm outsourcing this and they have access to our network, could something happen as far as cybersecurity goes?
Well, you know what? It absolutely could with other companies. If you have team members that are remoting in from home, you could very well be hacked. However, with our Support DDS IT solutions that we have in place, we have military-grade firewalls. We get audited all the time because we do virtual team members for large DSOs. They're always being audited for data security. So I'm very happy to say we exceed all of the recommendations for security. You won't have to worry.
I love that. I love that. And then the follow-up question here is, okay, so the team members that are with Support DDS, how do you guys choose these team members? Are they just, I'm not going to say what he said, are they just like soccer moms and housewives doing this? Okay, or hey guys, come on, they have a diverse team here. But you know, I guess the doctor's question is like, how do you vet these team members? What kind of skills are they coming with?
Well, you know, if one of our team members were to walk into your office with a resume like theirs, you wouldn't be able to afford them. Yeah. When we put out an ad, we get about 300 applicants. We do background checks and we make sure that they're going to be a fit for a dental office. And out of those applications, we put a very select few through our dental training program. Every single one of them has a university education. Wow. Some of them masters. The last course that we went through of 20 had 3 medical doctors, 2 lawyers, an MBA, and several people with master's degrees. They're all eager to work for Support DDS because they get a really good salary and we have medical benefits, secure location. It's a great job to have.
I love that. Okay, and so since we're talking about team members, and guys, like I said, if you have any questions, type in the comment section. Keep sending those questions to me. But since we're talking about team members, I think we have a special guest, right? Don't we have a special guest today with us? You know, we have one of the all-stars that's actually working over there right now. His name is Simba, and so I'm going to bring him on right now. So Simba, you get ready. It's showtime, my friend. It's showtime, my friend. Here we go. Hold on, we're bringing him on right now. Okay, let me get his name up. Simba, what's up, man?
How's it going, Glenn? You all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. Okay, so look, guys, Nifty Thrifty, Dennis, you know, type in the comments section. Support DDS, show us some love. Show Simba some love there. So Simba, I'm just gonna ask you point blank, man. You're over there right now. So I'm gonna ask you. Okay, Brenda, let's let Simba talk here. I'm gonna ask Simba here. Simba, you're actually over there in the facility right now. Describe the facility, because a lot of times doctors are wondering, is this person just working at an internet cafe and there's, you know, people drinking coffee? Is he just working at home? Talk about the facility and what is available for all the team members there to help you guys succeed.
All right, thank you, Glenn, for that question. Yes, I'd like to say this. The feeling right now in this live session, it's electric. But yes, the feeling that we have here at the office, we work in an A-class, high-rise building named Join Us City. The reason why it's called Join Us City is because it's a world-class environment, especially for any professional work to be done. As well, we have so much support here in our main center in Zimbabwe. We have so much tech support. We have all the support that we even need from our account resource managers. There are so many people just looking at you saying, how can we help make your work perfect? And that's the experience that we have. We have a great time. We actually interact as a family. And especially with the work that we do, we smile a lot. So yes, we do have a great time, and it is a great facility that we work at. Yes, thank you for that.
Yes, no, and I think it's really important for our viewers to know that, right? Because whenever you think of virtual assistant, someone working remotely, you don't know where they're working at. You know, they might be working in their bedroom with like spotty internet. You know, my internet's a little bad today. Normally it's pretty good, but you know, but you guys are actually in an office building with all the resources, all the computers, everything you need to succeed, and that is really important because, you know, that's the thing. A lot of doctors, we're wondering, like, where are you guys at right now? So right now, you're in the office right now. There's other team members there. Let me ask you this, Simba. For you to do your job, do you have everything you need there at that facility?
Yes, we are fully equipped with everything that the practice or any doctor or the DSO recommends. So if the DSO or the practice or the doctor recommends to say, Simba, you're going to need 4 screens in front of you. Trust me, you'll have 4 screens in front of you. And on top of that, you'll have the top of the range equipment, everything that you need to do your work effectively, you will have it. It's all provided by our accounts resource managers, and everything is, if I should say, everything is done to the exact T. So all the support that you need, you're definitely provided with.
I love that. I love that, Simba. Okay, so Brenda, now I'm going to move back to you. So I got a question from the audience here, and that is, how does the onboarding process work? How do we get set up with our virtual assistant? Is it, do we choose them? Do you choose them? And how do you match? Because every practice is different. That's a pretty good question.
That's a wonderful question. I'm really glad that somebody asked that, because it is specific to the doctor. We need to know what tasks you're going to want for that team member, and then we source candidates that are perfect for those tasks. You can always make changes, but we want to make sure that this is a good relationship between the doctor and the remote team member. So we source 3 really good candidates for you, and then we conduct Zoom interviews. And the hardest part of the whole decision-making process is, how do I select just one?
Yeah.
Because all 3 of them will wow you to the point where you're like, oh my goodness, what do I do? So many offices find that they start off thinking they need 1, and they end up with 2 or 3.
Wow. Wow. Guys, if you like what you're hearing, type in the comments section, support DDS. And if you want that nifty deal, type it in there. I just have a question right here. And this doctor's asking, how do we get Simba on our team?
Simba's already taken. Sorry, guys.
But hey, with Simba, let me ask you this. Obviously, you work with a lot of team members there. You see people going through an interview process. As much as this doctor wants Simba on her team, right? With Simba, there's other team members that are just as good as you, right?
Yes, trust me. From my class alone, we have dynamite. I'd like to just say, just like that, we have dynamite in the office and dynamite in our staff as well. So when it comes to any person, if you're looking to hire a person like Simba, don't worry. Trust me, there are so many amazing remote team members that are eager just to work for you and that are waiting for your call.
And for the doctor that asked that question, you know what? Go ahead and message Brenda, and maybe you can get on a waiting list for Simba if it's scheduled open. You can do a waiting list. There's probably a waiting list there, guys. You get on right now. I have a feeling the waiting list is getting bigger and bigger. So, Brenda, let me ask you this: so, how many, as far as virtual assistants, how many practices actually have more than one through Support DDS? Is that a pretty common thing?
It actually is really common, because when you think about all the different tasks that happen in the dental office, even a new patient phone call, we all have a certain way that we want it to go through, right? A new patient phone call. If we have a remote team member that's trained only the right way from the very beginning, there are many offices that are even forwarding all of their new patient phone calls to their remote team member over in Zimbabwe. They have such beautiful voices, and they're going to follow directions perfectly. So there are many that have divided it up. Here's a great example. We have an office here in Colorado. They have 3. One handles all new patient phone calls and does confirmations. One enters the payments, and one does all the insurance verification.
Oh,
it's a great process, great systems in place.
I love that. Okay, I got one of my Nifty Thrifty vendors just sent me a message, and he's asking, okay, I'm not a dentist, but I do have a marketing company, and I'd love to hire a virtual assistant. Do you guys, I know it says Support DDS, but could you support other companies as well?
Oh my goodness, we have many companies under our umbrella. And really what it comes down to is if you have anything specific you need, even if it's a certain software, even if it's a certain language, anything like that, just reach out to us and we will source our candidates. Because Glenn, as you know, we're all about the 3 wins. A win for the team member, we want to get them a job. They have 80% unemployment over there. So we want to find these quality team members jobs. Second win is a win for the dental office or the company hiring them, because you're going to save up to 75% of payroll. And then the third win is a win for the kingdom, because we donate 51% of all of the profits back to missionary work all across the world.
That is, and I remember that because JW told me that last time. That's one of those things that's really near and dear about my heart. And so I love that mission. I love the fact that you guys give back not only to the mission work, but also give back to the country too, right? And giving people opportunity to get a good job in a safe environment, in a professional environment. I love those things. That's all wins are all the way around there. And so, Simba, I have a question for you. This is my question for you, okay? Number 1, how long have you been working there? And number 2, you've seen other team members that come on. How has working for Support DDS changed their lives? What that you could see?
All right, thank you for that, Glenn. So I have been working for Support DDS for a couple of months now, and trust me, allow me to say it this way, the traffic that we get of doctors coming on board to get the virtual team members that we provide, it's amazing. We really get a lot of traffic and a lot of people that give a lot of referrals for our virtual team members. So it's been quite a crazy time being part of the family as it is. Mm-hmm. And we really do enjoy we enjoy everything. Trust me, we have a great time here. And there's so much that we also get support on, especially like I said, whenever it comes to anything that we need, we've got both the practice and the tech team as well here in Harare that is available to assist us in anything that we need, so that we can provide anything for the practice as well.
And that's so good to hear, because here's the thing. I mean, the team members over there at Support DDS, they love their job. You can see Simba, you hear the enthusiasm, but they love their job. They love helping us. And that's a big part. That's a big part there. So I have another question here, Brenda, and that is, what are the most common tasks? I know we already asked this here, but I guess they want something more specific. What are the most common tasks? Obviously things that are kind of like repetitive, but what are some of those most common tasks that Support DDS does for dental practices that frees up their team?
Okay, so claims follow-up, insurance verification, new patient phone calls, big one, reactivation, and recare. Also, right now, we have many teams that are using us to do the COVID pre-screening before the patients come in. That's always been a big one that we're doing, and even accounts receivable. So, doctor, if you had somebody that you needed help with accounting, I can find somebody who has a master's degree in accounting that can help you audit accounts. Software sometimes can be very confusing for people to be able to read a ledger, but we have people that are trained to do that. And I think it's really up to the imagination of the dental office as to how they utilize the time of the team member. Social media is also a big one.
So here's a great question here. Here's a great question. I have a practice. Let me read this. I have a team, myself including, that we are not tech savvy. We need like a tech nerd in our office to handle those things.
We've got tech nerds everywhere. We have an IT department as well. We have a whole group of people that are trained specifically to work with IT. When you're utilizing a remote team member, IT is not an issue. Our IT department and their IT department coordinate to make that transition very, very smooth.
I love that. And for another follow-up question is, my office manager can use an assistant. Do you guys have offices where they actually have team members have their own assistant to assist them in their own position?
Of course. That is, that would be a dream come true. Many of our team members join their teams via Zoom for the morning huddles. And then they get given assignments each day as to what it is they're doing. You can also do it where they have set assignments, but I love teams that utilize a personal assistant to the office manager or the dentist. It just makes it for an easy day.
Yeah. And guys, if you like what you're hearing right now, type in the comments section, Support DDS. I see a lot of people on there. Keep the questions coming. If you're shy, you can send me the question there. Again, I want to let y'all know Simba's already taken. He's already working with other offices. But if you want to get a team member that's very similar to him, just reach out. Also, you can also get on the waiting list to get Simba on your team. Brenda's handling that. That's all the jokes there. But like I said, I love the fact that we have him on here because people are always wondering. They're like, what kind of team member are we going to be getting or we're going to be working with? Well, what you see right there is very similar to what you're going to get. It's like an awesome team member like Simba, very positive. And because at the end of the day, there's three things. What are the 3 wins again, Brenda? I love the fact that you said those 3 wins. So the 3 wins, Support DDS is looking for 3 wins. What are they, Brenda?
A win for the team member. 80% unemployment. We want to get them employed. It's a win for the dental office because you would never be able to afford an American working in your office with their resume. I kid you not. And then it's a win for the kingdom because 51% gets donated back. We are digging wells. We are feeding orphanages. We are really making an impact worldwide.
I love that. Okay, and that's huge right there. I mean, they have such a great mission, and they're also helping all these practice. Now, let's jump into like the money part here, right? Because that's what everyone's probably wondering. They're wondering about the money part. So I'm going to ask you this: what is the normal investment when someone comes on with Support DDS? And then after we discuss that, I want to compare it to actually bringing on another team member stateside because there's so many practices. They're in like the in-between stage, right? Where they kind of need another team member, but they really can't afford it yet. So they just kind of like wear out their existing team because they're trying to get to that next level to afford it. And that's why I love that Support DDS kind of gets that in-between there that kind of gets you through there. So what's the investment, number one, for Support DDS, and compare it to actually bringing on another team member in the practice?
Okay, well, if you're not a nifty thrifty dentist, you're paying $18.50 a month for 40 hours a week, which is a great deal. But when you are a nifty thrifty dentist, right now it's the best deal we have seen all year. It is $16.50 a month, but wait for it, $500 off month 2 and month 3.
Oh, wow.
It's never been this good, never had this good of a deal. So right now it's time to jump, because that deal is only available until November 30th. We're getting that extra $500 off.
Wow. And that's going to be so valuable, because here's the thing. Right now, it's the end of the year, right? It's been a tough year for everyone. We got a couple of months to really make up some ground there. And the fact that you get this discount is going to help, number one. And number two, having the assistant come on and actually helping your team. Look, your team is already working hard, right? But can you imagine another virtual team member that's just dedicated to your practice? And I want to ask you that, Brenda. I think that's really important there. We got a couple of hand claps from the audience here. But Brenda, let me ask you this. Whenever they hire a virtual assistant through Support DDS, is this virtual assistant working at another office and working 5 other offices, or are they working just for their practice?
No, they get hired specifically for their office and their office only, doing whatever tasks they want, working whatever hours they want. The fee will always be a flat fee. You'll never see any additional charges from our services. And you know, the other thing that makes us stand out, no contracts.
Wow.
No
you
contracts.
Whenever you want.
That's right. 30-day out clause, but very few people do that. But here's why. Our team members are proving themselves to you month after month after month. They're having to prove themselves to you because there's nothing holding them to having to keep that team member.
I love that. And you know what? Obviously, a lot of people like what Brenda's saying. We have someone from the audience. Can't wait to get started. Hello, Brenda. Yeah. So look, I mean, guys, I mean, that's a super deal there. And here's the thing. Brenda just said it too. It's a team member that they help you recruit, and you're going to do the interview. You'll have 3 candidates that you can choose from, and they are dedicated to helping your practice. They're not doing other side jobs while they're supposed to be taking care of your practice. They are dedicated to you. So, Brenda, for that fee, how many days is it? Is it based on hours? Kind of walk through like the specifics there. So, we know what the deal is. We'll talk about the deal again if you guys are just jumping on here. Type in the comment section, Support DDS. But Brenda, how does that work? Is it for a certain block of time, or how much support do you get?
So it is 40 hours a week, whatever those hours are. We have some team members that work 4 10-hour days. We have others that work 5 days a week. It's completely up to them. We even have some team members that are working when the office isn't even open, taking phone calls and doing insurance verification.
Oh, yeah.
The time change, the hours don't even matter, because when you tell us what hours we want, we source candidates that are available during those hours. They are dedicated, and we want you to treat them like a member of your team. Doctor, we even have people that are photoshopping their remote team members into their group photos for their Facebook page.
Well, because they're part of the team, and I love how they feel about that. And you know what? We have a viewer right now. Thank you, Dr. Glenn. You were welcome. So excited to know more about you, Brenda. Well, you know what? Here's the great thing. Brenda is in our group. You can reach out to her anytime. Just message her. And look, I mean, there's a super deal there. We'll talk about the deal again, but I want to kind of let you guys know that, look, your virtual team member is this is a few points that we need to understand. The virtual team member, point number 1, is dedicated to your practice. They're part of your team. They're not working just for you and for 5 other doctors. No, they're working for you, right? Here's another thing too, is the schedule, right? It's up to you. Right? You want a team member that's there while you're working. You want a team member that's covering you after hours. It's up to you. And then a big one that Brenda says that is music to my ears is it's a fixed cost. How many times have we signed up for a service, right? And then there's like, oh, by the way, I'm sorry. If you want this hour, it's actually a little bit more. Oh, I'm sorry. There's an extra fee here. Brenda, let's just put this to rest. The fee is the fee, right? Is there any other charges?
There aren't any additional charges unless you want them. You want to add a phone line, you want to add another team member. that's the only way that there would be another fee. It doesn't matter to us how many codes we get on an insurance verification form. We're never going to charge you an extra $1 or something to get another code checked. It doesn't matter what services they do. Imagine being on hold for 45 minutes with Aetna, because we all know you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes with Aetna, and be able to get the rundown of benefits and check the status of the claims that are outstanding with Aetna too, with it all being one service, not paying for two separate services.
So I actually got a really good question here, and this is, I have a need for a team member that has different skills, admin skills, and also marketing skills. So if someone needs like multiple, like someone who has like a little diverse skill set, do you guys kind of look for that and pair them up, or is that something that they have to figure out from the practice side?
Oh, absolutely. We would find the right candidate for them. And it really does depend on what you need. We have a lot of people with social media experience, marketing, accounting, HR even experience. So we will definitely find the right person for you.
Okay. So, before we talk about the Nifty Deal again, what's the best way to kind of get started? Like, okay, so I see a lot of docs that are typing in Support DDS and they're really excited about what you have to say. So what's the first step? What is the first step? How do they kind of get started and get the ball rolling?
Well, the first step is to reach out to myself or Support DDS on www.supportdds.com. My email is brenda@supportdds.com. And I even drop my telephone number right there. You can message me on Facebook. The first thing we're going to do is have a conversation, figure out what type of a person you need. Once we determine that, we can set up interviews. And believe it or not, we could have a new team member in your practice right after Thanksgiving.
Wow, that is quick. Yeah, and you know what, guys? We're heading into, use it or lose it and trying to get those patients in, and your team is working really hard. Wouldn't it be great? You came to your team and said, guys, we actually have another team member. They're going to help you guys. It's going to help make your lives easier. Can you imagine how excited your team's going to be? And you know what? We can do it because there's a super nifty deal. So Brenda, one more time, let's talk about the Nifty Deal.
Okay, so this nifty thrifty deal, $1,650 a month, not a week, a month. $1,650 for 40 hours in a work week, whatever hours you want. But the big deal right now until only the end of November, $500 off month 2 and $500 off month 3. Wow. It's a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer with that, guys. Reach out to her because literally Brenda said it, like, if you do it fast enough, look, do it today so you can get that team member. You come back from Thanksgiving, you had a little time to relax. You come back and you're ready to rock and roll with an awesome team member. So before we jump off, I'm gonna go to both of you guys. I'm gonna have y'all give like the last words here. But Simba, I want to ask you, how has your experience been for working for Support DDS? How has it been for you, and how has it changed your life?
Thank you for that, Glenn. It's been amazing. My experience here with Support DDS has been amazing, mainly because of the career development. When any person thinks about the business as it is in terms of the practice, in terms of DSOs, and what it is, you actually, when you're opened, when your mind is opened to the vast majority of opportunities and good things that you achieve by working with Support DDS, you just have you actually are blessed, so to speak. I usually love saying that word to say I've been really blessed with the experience that I've had here at Support DDS, and it's mainly that because the development, the opportunity to work with amazing people, and the opportunity to help a practice grow and focus more on patient care. Trust me, the feeling is success.
Yeah, I love that because I love what Brenda said earlier about not only changing the lives of people in your practice, the practice owner, but changing the lives of people like yourself who are over there and have this great opportunity. And so, Brenda, before we log off here, what is your message to all the doctors in Nifty Thrifty who are, maybe they're in that point in their practice life where they're like, okay, we do need some more help. because of what's going on with COVID and funds are short, I'm looking for another way. I'm looking for another way to help my team because they're doing everything they can. And what's your message to those doctors who are kind of in that situation? Because I'm sure you hear it all the time when people are reaching out to you and they're looking for help there. What is your message to those doctors who are feeling that right now?
Well, my message is, if you think about where you're spending your money, and you're thinking about how much time and energy you invest to training somebody to work in your office, only to have them leave for 50 cents more an hour for the dentist across the street. I mean, if I told you, Dr. Glenn, that you could spend $100 and make $500, it's a no-brainer. Our team members are going to work hard. Our team members are so smart, and our team members have to be of value to your practice in order to stay employed. I mean, that's what we want. They're not saying what's in it for me. They're thinking, what's in it for you with the services that I can provide?
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. That is like music to my ears as a practice owner. And guys, like I said, Brenda is in our group. She's a valued member. She's always, messaging and making some awesome posts. So she easy to reach out to her, message her for the deal. Okay. She's got her cell phone there, call as well. And again, guys, I am sorry, Simba's already working for another practice, but she will find someone else that's just as good as him. Take advantage of that deal. It's just so generous. I truly appreciate you guys. And look, type in the comments section, support DDS, show us some love, but also reach out to Brenda. Take advantage of Nifty Deal. She'll come back and she'll type in the comments as well. But Brenda, Simba, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vo. I really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Doctor.
All right, reach out to them. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.